Hello and welcome. You're watching Nonsense Talk News and I am Pallab Ghosh with you. Well, today's subject is the melting of Baba Barfani or Amarnath glacier. Well, before that, I have a question to all of you. I mean, how long will we take to understand that it's not desirable to finger or tamper with Mother Nature? Every time a natural calamity takes place and we say that yes, perhaps after this we will change ourselves, or perhaps we will try to minimize the cutting of trees, deforestation, and in case of mountain, because I will be talking about the Himalayas, the over construction on the foothills of Himalayas. Before coming to Amarnath, let me ask you, how many of you have visited Mussoorie of late? Mussoorie is regarded as the queen of hill stations in Uttarakhand, of course. But if you take a look at the photographs chronologically, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and the recent ones, you will be stunned, you will be surprised, you will be shocked to see that the over-construction that is taking place on the foothills of Himalayas like Mussoorie and other hill stations, particularly Mussoorie, because Mussoorie is one of the most popular hill station that tourists still try to attempt, or they try to take a pic at Mussoorie. But today's Mussoorie, where it is standing, is actually very dangerous. The way resorts have come up, the way hotels have come up, the way the mall has been over-constructed with shops, and particularly the cutting of mountains, stepping for vested interest by land mafias, it's really dangerous. But what I'm going to say is not out of context, believe me. If Mussoorie is a hill station, Amarnath is definitely the prime pilgrimage of the Hindus. The Shivlinga, or the glacier as they call it, the scientific terms, is a natural glacier which actually is constructed because of the dropping of water from the ceiling of the mountain or the cave. Now, a couple of years ago also we saw how this Shivlinga, or this in Hindi they call it Baba Barfani because it's respect towards Lord Shiva. But this glacier, if we may take it for the, as a scientific term here, this glacier is caused it takes place because of the natural water that falls, and it keep on falling, or it's collected on that base since the winters when all the cave shrines are closed. Let me just take you through some of the numbers and you will understand what has happened. But before that, let me just give you the context of the story. The context is this Shivlinga, which stays for nearly 2 or 2.5 months around this time, starting from this time, has melted almost 90%, and the pilgrims who are going to who are visiting Amarnath cave shrine are disappointed and of course shocked, because if we talk of Hindu mythology or a religious faith, then we will say that maybe because of some wrongs or some unwanted reasons, Lord Shiva, because this is the presence of Lord Shiva as the followers of Hindu religion believe. So Lord Shiva has decided to walk out of this place. Lord Shiva has decided to dump this place and go away from this place. So this is definitely not a divine thing, or not a religious, pleasurable actually, feelings for the faithfuls to accept. But the fact is, it has happened. If I take you through the numbers, perhaps you will understand the real reason. Now, 2007, 2008, we saw this Shivlinga getting tiny, little more tiny, and then finally tinier, and then it disappeared. But it disappeared after a few months from the opening of this cave shrine. So people had the opportunity to have a glimpse of Lord Shiva. But this was again a shocking development in 2022 when floods took place and the Shivlinga or the glacier started melting completely. 2026, within 5 days, 90% or even more has disappeared. If you remember, the video which went viral actually, because everybody eye on the opening of this cave shrine after the annual closure of the cave shrine due to chilling weather or inclement weather, snowfall. On 23rd May, the first visual that was circulated, or we had an opportunity of watching the video, and we saw our men in uniform, army people, who are actually in charge of Amarnath region, or upper terrains of Himalayas. They offered their first prayer, and we saw they were praying, they were roaming around. At that time, it was said the Shivlinga was around 7 to 7.5 feet. Even that is quite small compared to previous years. Earlier, this Shivlinga, which according to records, in the late 1990s to 2000, 2001, 2002, this Shivlinga was no less than 9 to 16 feet. Can you imagine the sudden melting or the sudden structural change of this glacier? On 23rd May, it was 7 feet. On 29th June, when the cave shrine was opened and the puja was performed, and of course it was opened for the pilgrims for next 10 2 months or 2.5 months. That is the scheduled time period for the pilgrimage. It was recorded, it became 5 feet. So, 23rd May, it was 7 feet. And June 29th, around nearly a month, few days less than a month, it was 5 feet. And the shocking result was on 6th July, within 5 days. This was less than 90%, or, almost 10% is gone. Now, why is this taking place? Well, again, if we talk of religious belief, I don't know whether I should be using this word, but anyway, hypothetical belief, then it's, as I said, Lord Shiva might be angry, might be unhappy with the puja or the people or the situation around we are living in, and he decided to walk out of this cave shrine and leave it. But can we just talk of hypothetical or, religious belief? We have to talk of scientific reasons also. And if we talk of scientific reasons, then definitely we have to discuss global warming, which of course is one of the main reasons, and the reason I started my video with, the unnecessary fingering or unnecessary tampering with Mother Nature. Global warming is taking place all over, and it is perhaps because of this, not just the Amarnath cave shrine, but even other cave shrines like Tunganath, which is one of the highest Shiva pilgrimage place, is slanting. We don't know what is going to happen to this in the coming years. We cannot forget the cloudburst that took place in 2013 and devastated almost entire Kedarnath. Why almost? Because suddenly from nowhere, a big a stone comes and protects Kedarnath, and it's still there. Call it miracle? We really don't know what to call it. It's miracle. And again, as we say, Lord Shiva protected his own cave shrine. Because this stone, yesterday of course, it's a visual thing for visitors, pilgrims, they go and watch it. But scientifically, where from this such a mammoth, such a huge stone, and how did it come to protect just the Kedarnath shrine? Don't forget, even the Adi Shankaracharya relics, which were behind the Kedarnath cave shrine, were totally washed away. Entire Kedarnath city was washed out. People died. The Kedarnath city or the Kedarnath town or the Kedarnath village, call it whatever name, it's gone. So we cannot forget the 2013 devastation. We cannot forget some of the other cloudbursts. Usually cloudbursts are normal on the hills or mountain terrains. But such devastating cloudbursts or natural calamities are definitely, they compel to think. They compel to retrospect. I beg your pardon, introspect. In retrospect. Are we doing this? No, we are not doing. And it's because of this, even in Himachal Pradesh, one of the very famous shrines of Mother Goddess Naina Devi is also facing such danger. As I said, meaningless, mindless constructions are taking place. Coming to this Amarnath issue. Now, Amarnath issue, as the scientists and experts have stepped in, and they are saying, one, global warming, two, too much construction, as I said, mindless construction on the foothills of Himalayas, and of course these mountain terrains. And another very serious issue that scientists or environmentalists have listed, and that is the construction of a ropeway that will enable the tourists, the pilgrims predominantly, to reach out to the cave shrine. Is it really very necessary? In the earlier days, all these cave shrines, pilgrims had to travel on foot. Now, of course, most of the cave shrines, including Mata Vaishno Devi and others, have been remodeled or restructured in such a way that pilgrims reach to a place at ease. And then perhaps they have to either take dandi or horses, mules, but the best, of course, is regarded to walk on foot. Because if you cannot walk a few kilometers, I accept a few miles. I also accept, in case of Amarnath, the road is still little, it's not totally plain or not totally, it's hilly and there are obstacles. But what's the difficulty in walking a few miles when you are going to the Sanctum Sanctorium of Lord Shiva? You decide to visit Lord Shiva at the highest peak. You decide to offer prayers to Lord Shiva in Amarnath. But you are scared of walking a few miles to reach him. What kind of, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm judgmental, but in religion or in, when you talk of pilgrims, I think this is very natural, and this is not my word. Even pilgrims who have who reached Amarnath, and they saw this, even some of them, the like-minded pilgrims, not all are like, tourists. They also said that even the ropeway is meaningless. And another big reason is the too much footfall, the huge footfall of pilgrims. Suppose on average 2,000 or 3,000 pilgrims are allowed at a time, or for a darshan, and suddenly the cave shrine is having pilgrims no less than 10,000 to 20,000. what do you expect? Again, scientifically, scientists, environmentalists, they say that when we visit the cave, naturally we breathe, we have our body heat, and this heat from 10,000 to 20,000 people is generating. And this is also enough for the Shivlinga or the glacier to melt. And this is what is happening. So, this has raised concern among authorities. This has raised concern among environmentalists, scientists. But, this should be a collective effort. We do understand why this has happened. We do understand why this is happening. As I said, 1990, we had Shivlinga. 1990 to 2000, 2001, we have had a Shivlinga around 9 feet to 15, 16 feet. And that Shivlinga is gradually decreasing. So 7 feet was even accepted. People were happy to see that Shivlinga had taken place. But then it becomes 5 feet within a month. And then by another month or few weeks, and after opening the cave shrine for the public, the Amarnath darshan, within 5 days, the Shivlinga or the glacier is gone. It's scary. For pilgrims, it's heartening. For pilgrims, it's definitely shocking. They wait for this, visiting Amarnath or, these pilgrims places, or the Char Dham Yatra, as they call in Uttarakhand, is not a matter of joke. You need preparations for this. So pilgrims wait for this with bated breath for months. And when they finally go there, they see just the water lying on the base of the cave. The Shivlinga or the glacier has disappeared. So it's scary, it's alarming, but I think it's actually warning to everybody. I'm talking of Uttarakhand in particular, because I have a lot of Uttarakhandis, lot of Uttarakhand friends from Uttarakhand. And I heard from them that they are themselves scared, they are themselves worried, they are angry, they are fuming because of the deforestation and, of course, this cutting of mountains, stepping and mindless construction. They are worried because they love their mountain. They love the hills, the Himalayas, the great Himalayas. So environmentalists and scientists, they are now scared, and they say very openly that they really don't know what is going to happen to the great Himalayas in the coming decades. Maybe not immediately, but after another decade, maybe after another decade, the Himalayas, the snow, the ice on the Himalayas, the glaciers, will gradually melt. And once this take place, you can understand the much hyped word global warming is the root cause, the global warming is definitely an excuse. But aren't we doing this? We are making way for this global warming, because believe me, if Himalayas melt, if even a part of these mountain terrains on Himalayas starts melting, then believe me, the weather that we are now cribbing, that rains are not taking place. And in fact, this year, another reason, of course, this year, we saw scanty snowfall, even at the highest peaks, mountain terrains, in Uttarakhand, in Himachal Pradesh, in Jammu Kashmir, in Leh Ladakh. It's scary. It's scary, it's alarming. So better we wake up, because if we don't wake up now, then definitely we will see such developments taking place every year. But worst we talk of is we will perhaps lose Himalayas. Himalayas will stand like, a bricky mountain, and it will not be we will lose the glaciers, we will lose those ice melting peaks. And definitely if that happens, then believe me, the plains, the other parts in the country will simply get a devastating summer, scorching heat. We are already seeing this. But we will die because of this too much heat being generated. So wake up and take a call. If required, start a movement. No need to go to Uttarakhand or Amarnath, or, start a movement on social media to protect the Himalayas. It's the question of existence of Himalayas now. Anyway, keep watching the Nonsense Talk News. This is really a very serious issue. And high time we should take a call. High time we understand. It's alarming. It's global warning rather than global warming. Keep watching the Nonsense Talk News. This is Pallab Ghosh signing off.